What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is Sunday, week 3. We are at Survivor Series. We are in the nation's capital. We are in a front of a sold-out crowd here in Washington, D.C. It is time. There's no pre-show. It is time for Survivor Series. We open up the pay-per-view. We get welcomed by Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler on commentary. And they let us know that earlier today, as Kevin Nash and Scott Hall tried to show up at the arena, they were met by Vince McMahon, Shane McMahon, and Vince's goons, as they like to call them, along with security and cops, as Kevin Nash and Scott Hall are not welcomed here at the venue. They were told to leave and get back in their limousine and leave and go back to the hotel that they are staying in. Vince McMahon does not want any outside interference in the main event matchup between Sting and Triple H over this hostile takeover, as they like to keep saying to themselves. So the main event between Sting and Triple H, we'll see that of Sting and Triple H. Vince McMahon making sure that nothing, and I mean nothing, will ruin this main event between these two men here tonight. That there will be no outside interference or anything of that nature to sway the win in any man's direction. He wants a clean and even match up here tonight. This segment got a 98 to start off the show. We are going to move on to our next segment, which is our opening contest for a 4-way light heavyweight bout. In a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Dean Malenko defeats Ultimo Dragon, X-Pac, and Lance Storm in 11:30. When Dean Malenko pinned Ultimo Dragon, Dean Malenko wins his first ever WWF Light Heavyweight title. Dean Malenko with an 88, Ultimo Dragon with an 86, X-Pac with a 71, and Lance Storm with a 69. Nice announcing quality gave the match a boost, and this match got a 72. To break kayfabe, Ultimo Dragon did not renew his contract, and he did not want a job on the way out. He has one more week left on the contract, and he chose not to sign with us. Instead, he will be going to another promotion. They offered him way more money than what I was willing to pay Ultimo Dragon for where he's at in the card. They were offering him $100,000, and I was just like, I'm not paying you $100,000 for where you're at in the card. Especially when I got main event guys who are not working for that much at all. And I'm not paying a mid card guy $100,000 a month. So, he will be leaving, and he did not want to do the right thing and drop the title to Dean Malenko. He complained about dropping the title to Dean Malenko. So, he had a nice little run with the championship before he left and go off to the company that he will be working for. So, good luck with your future endeavors, Ultimo Dragon, with the company that you chose to go with. Good luck in Japan, brother. So, see you later. Dean Malenko, your new light heavyweight champion. The match got a 72. We move on to our next segment of the night, which is the interview from Edge and Christian. They get stopped before they go to the ring for their WWF World Tag Team Championship title defense. Michael Cole goes, guys, this is y'all's first title defense for the Tag Team Championships. Are y'all nervous? You know, this is y'all's big title defense at a pay-per-view. Are y'all nervous? And Edge goes, nervous? Us? Ha! No way, man. We're not nervous. Are you serious? Look who we're going against. We're going against the Hardys, of all people. You know, if I wasn't a decent enough man, I would smack around one of them and steal their girlfriend. And Christian's like, yeah, that'll be funny. Still one of their girlfriends. And Edge is just like, hey, you never know. But I know one thing, Christian. What's that, Edge? I know that tonight they're going to get a little bit of E and they're going to get a little bit of C. And we're going to walk away still the tag team champions. And Michael Cole just shakes his head. They go to the ring. We move on to that matchup. In a bout that had great wrestling and good heat, Edge and Christian successfully defend their tag team titles against the Hardys when Edge pinned Jeff Hardy after using a foreign object. Christian slid in the tag team championships. Edge whacked him in Jeff Hardy in the head. 1, 2, 3. They make defense number 1 of the World Wrestling Federation World Tag Team Championships. The match got 80. Not bad between these two guys. It advances the storyline. Christian and Edge showed excellent chemistry together along with the Hardys. And the Hardys also have the tag team special bonus. Jeff Hardy benefited from having a hot new move. So awesome stuff all around from those guys. We're going to move on to the next segment. And we see Chris Jericho going into Vince McMahon's office. And Jericho goes, you know, once again, Vince, like I said before, it's a conspiracy against Jericho. How can you have the best wrestler in the world at what he does today, not booked in a match, not on the card? Vince goes, I don't know. You tell me, Jericho. I gave you an opportunity at the Intercontinental Championship and you lost. And Jericho goes, yeah, I was pretty much screwed out of that, wasn't I? Vince kind of goes to say something, and in walks Shane, and he goes, whoa, hey, whoa, calm down, guys, calm down. You know, as the World Wrestling Federation commissioner, I too have a part in making matches, as long as my dad approves the match. He has the final say, but I have another superstar in the back who's also doesn't have a match tonight, and he's looking to prove himself. I mean, he's picked up some big wins here, and he's looking to prove himself to get out of the light heavyweight division. So, with that being said, Jericho, how do you feel about going against Rey Mysterio Jr.? And Jericho goes, what? Rey Mysterio Jr.? Are you serious? You honestly think that I want to wrestle somebody in the light heavyweight division? And Shane's just like, if my memory serves me correct, he beat you at WrestleMania He beat you at WrestleMania 13 for the light heavyweight championship, if my memory serves me correct. And Jericho kind of gets frustrated and goes, you know what? Yeah, he beat me to become the first ever light heavyweight champion, but I'll let him because I realize that that title is beneath me. That I'm a world-class heavyweight competitor, not some junior heavyweight competitor. Shane goes, well, it sounds like you're scared, Jericho. Jericho's like, of that? No, I'm not scared of Rey Mysterio. As a matter of fact, yeah, I'll take that match against Rey Mysterio tonight. But once I make him tap out, you only got yourself to blame, Shane, after I beat him and after I send him packing and beat him. Shane's just like, yeah, Jericho, we'll see. Good luck in your match tonight. Jericho's in. Yeah, whatever. So there we go. We have an announcement matchup of Jericho versus Rey Mysterio Jr. later tonight. But we are going to move on to our next matchup, which is a segment of Taz. And as we know, Taz has been doing kind of like an open challenge for his Extreme Hardcore Championship. And Taz comes out and he goes, you know, he has both the ECW World Heavyweight Championship and the WWF Hardcore Championship on his shoulders. And he goes, you know, I'm sick and tired of not having real competition here in the World Wrestling Federation. That nobody, and I mean nobody, can compete against me. I've beaten everybody. Hell, on SmackDown, I beat Tommy Dreamer of all people. Tommy Dreamer. Who else is there left to beat? I beat Raven. I beat Brian Lee. I beat everybody from ECW who thinks they can stand up against me. And I said it time and time again that no man in this locker room, no man in the ECW locker room, no man in any locker room can stand up to Taz. So who's it going to be, huh? Who do you have this time? Who's going to answer my open challenge and face Taz and get choked the fuck out? And all of a sudden the lights go out. And the crowd's kind of getting reckless and they don't know what's going on. And we start hearing a whistle blowing and the lights come back on and it's Sabu. And Bill Alfonso, he's blowing his whistle, the crowd goes crazy. It's Sabu. We haven't seen Sabu in a while. And Sabu is here to answer Taz's open challenge for the Extreme Hardcore Championship. In a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd, Taz defeats Sabu in a hardcore match in 12:35 by submission with the Taz mission. Taz makes defense number 4 of the WWF Extreme Hardcore title. The match got a 79. I wish it would have did a lot better than this. Sabu with a 71, Taz with an 81. Raven's headache storyline advances. There was times lack of psychology on display, and the match tended to drift a little bit. Announcing the color commentary gave the match a boost. Taz makes a successful defense and beats one of his longtime rivals, Sabu. Taz proving once again that Taz is probably the baddest man in the locker room. Nobody has stepped up and beat Taz for that hardcore championship. So far, we are going to have to see where this goes as we move on to our next segment. Is the match between Chris Jericho and Rey Mysterio Jr. The match got a 95. Awesome stuff. An exceptional match. Chris Jericho defeats Rey Mysterio Jr. in 12:32 by submission with a Lion Tamer. The match got a 95. That's probably going to be one of the best matches of the night. Jericho with a 95. Rey Mysterio with a 94. The conspiracy victim storyline advances and gains heat. Once again, Rey Mysterio proven that I can put him up against anybody and he's going to have a hell of a match. Awesome stuff. Man, that's going to probably be one of the best matches of the night. Oh, man. I'm going to have to keep this in mind when I do my speeches after the show. We're going to move on to the next segment, which is an angle of The Rock and Vince McMahon in Vince's office. And The Rock's just like, look, I know what's going to happen. All right? Austin's going to come out. He's going to cost me the championship just to get back at you. And I'm starting to get sick and tired of Steve Austin. Vince is like, you don't think I'm getting tired of Austin either? You don't think I'm getting sick of him either? You know, until he lays his hand on me, I can't do anything. I can't fire him. I can't do any of that. I've sent him to jail multiple times. I don't know what else to do. Until he lays a finger on me, I can't arrest him. I can suspend him. I can do all that stuff. But it's not going to do any good because Austin's still going to show up and raise hell and does whatever he wants to. But I hired some people that I know that will get the job done. And Rock's like, are you saying who I think you're saying? Vince is like, oh yeah. You thinking who I'm thinking. The Acolyte Protection Agency. Vince is like, I paid them $1 million of my own personal money to make sure that Steve Austin doesn't interfere in your match tonight. And he's booked in a handicap match. And there's no chance in hell that he's going to walk away from that matchup. And Rock's like, I like your thinking, Vince. And Vince is like, so, you can go back to your locker room. with my beautiful daughter Stephanie, and you go relax and calm down and relax and worry about Kurt Angle. The Rock's like, yeah, I definitely will. This segment got an 86. I thought it was going to do a lot better, but we're going to go ahead and move on. Steve Austin will be in a handicap match tonight against the Acolyte Protection Agency, APA. We're going to move on to our next segment, which is, oh my goodness, boy. Oh my goodness, boy. Another banger, another 96, man. I thought the Jericho and Rey Mysterio match was going to be match of the night. Whoo, man. Whoo. Rock and Kurt Angle and Triple H and Sting are going to have to compete here tonight, because in a bout that had sensational wrestling and fantastic heat, Eddie Guerrero beats Rob Van Dam and 13-24 by pinfall following a frog splash. This match got a 96. Awesome stuff. I didn't think it was going to do this good. I know it was going to be a banger, but I didn't think it was going to be this good. Eddie Guerrero with a 93. Rob Van Dam with a 97. Frog Splash versus Frog Splash storyline advances. And Rob Van Dam and Jim Cornette have pretty good chemistry together. Eddie Guerrero wins the match. And Rob Van Dam loses the right to use the Frog Splash. Eddie Guerrero, the winner of this matchup, 84. Eddie Guerrero came fantastic. He did superb. Eddie Guerrero celebrates in the ring as he is the rightful owner of the Frog Splash. It looks like Rob Van Dam is going to have to find a new finishing maneuver. We are going to move on to the next segment. What a banger of a match, man. Hell yeah. And we move on to that handicap match. In a superb match, Steve Austin defeats APA in a handicap match after Steve Austin pins Bradshaw with the stunner. Of course, Steve Austin is head and shoulders above everyone else with that 100. His popularity, it's a toss-up between him and Hollywood Hogan on who's the most popular wrestler in the world right now. And Bradshaw was the weak link, struggling to keep up with everybody else. We already know that. He had a 61. This advances the Austin versus Vince storyline. Farouk and Bradshaw have the tag team specialists, and Steve Austin benefited from the crowd loving him. This match got an 81. I wasn't expecting this match to do too good, but Steve Austin does get his ass handed to him. He does get beat up, but he ends up pulling out the win. But he needs help to the back as we move on to our next segment, which is the traditional Survivor Series matchup between the New Foundation and the Hart Foundation. The New Foundation of Owen Hart, Brian Pillman, Double J, Jeff Jarrett, taking on Bret Hart, Davey Boy Smith, and the debuting Chris Benoit. In an exceptional match, the New Foundation defeat the Hart Foundation. In order of elimination, Jeff Jarrett was the first, then Davey Boy, then Brian Pillman, then Benoit, and finally Bret the Hitman Hart. And I will tell you the story going on in this match. It ends up becoming outnumbered of Owen against Bret and Chris Benoit. And Bret and Chris Benoit have their way with Owen Hart. Owen Hart is struggling, you know, with the Benoit with his chops and Bret Hart with his technical wrestling. He is just getting beat down. Bret goes for the power driver. He tags, Benoit tags him in. Bret Hart goes for the power driver. He hits the power driver on Owen. And as Bret goes to pin Owen for the victory, Benoit comes in and hits him in the back with a chair, getting himself disqualified from the matchup. Getting himself thrown out of the matchup. Owen then gets on top of Bret after the chair shot to the back and pins 1, 2, 3 as Chris Benoit already turned on Bret the Hitman Hart and teamed up with Owen Hart. What a travesty. Owen Hart and the new foundation wins. And it looks like they have picked up a new member in Chris Benoit as Bret Hart lays on his back looking at the lights. And he is out cold as the ringside medical team comes and checks on Bret Hart. He was whacked hard in the back of the head, and Bret Hart is out as Owen and Chris Benoit celebrate as they leave the ring. We move on to our next segment of the night, which is the Intercontinental Championship matchup. I'm pretty sure it's the Intercontinental Championship matchup between The Rock and Kurt Angle. And it is in about a 94. Oh, man. Not quite better than that Eddie Guerrero RVD match. In a bout that had sensational wrestling and fantastic heat, Kurt Angle beats The Rock in 13-14 by pinfall following an Olympic slam after a distraction from Stone Cold Steve Austin, costing The Rock the championship. The Rock predicted it. He knew that Austin was going to get involved. And it didn't matter what Vince threw against Austin in that handicap matchup. Somehow Steve Austin found a way to get to ringside to cost Austin. Kurt Angle wins the WWF Intercontinental Championship in the nation's capital of Washington, D.C. Kurt Angle celebrates. He celebrates. The confetti falls down. And Kurt Angle celebrates his first championship win here in the World Wrestling Federation. We move on to our next segment as he celebrates, as Steve Austin looks on and laughs as he knows that he cost The Rock his championship and pissed off Vince McMahon in the process. Lord have mercy. What is Vince McMahon going to do with Stone Cold Steve Austin? We are going to have to find out on Raw is War or SmackDown or whenever. We are going to have to find out at a later time because, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for that Dude Love versus Undertaker matchup. For those of y'all watch Sunday Night Heat, y'all know that Dude Love wanted to challenge the Undertaker again and give him a fair matchup. But the Undertaker said he is looking for a fight. He wants a street fight. In about a 98. Oh my God. Ooh boy. I was not expecting that. Ooh, this is going to be a banger of a pay-per-view. This is already going to be a 100 pay-per-view. Wowee. The main event has to be a 99 or 100. I mean, like, there's just no other way. Jeez Louise. I was thinking that the Kurt Angle versus Rock match was going to be match of the night. And it was Eddie Guerrero versus RVD, and now it's Undertaker versus Dude Love in a bout that had sensational wrestling and fantastic heat. The Undertaker defeats Dude Love in a street fight. Forget that hardcore match. In a street fight following a Tombstone Power Driver. Undertaker with a 98 and Dude Love with a 95. The I'm Not Crazy storyline advances, and Dude Love benefited from having an amazing form. 98. Let's go. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, for our main event matchup between Sting and Triple H. Both men make a spectacular entrance. They both have their thing. Sting comes out to Seek and Destroy by Metallica, while Triple H comes out to a band playing his theme song. Comes out to a band playing his theme song. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Get your predictions in now. Is it Sting who beats Triple H for the World Wrestling Federation Heavyweight Championship, or does Triple H beat Sting? Let's see what this match gets. A 93. I knew it. In a bout that had sensational wrestling and fantastic heat, it is Sting who defeats our World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Champion Triple H by submission with a Scorpion Deathlock after interference. It was supposed to be by pinfall after an interference from Shawn Michaels. During this match, we also had Shawn Michaels run in and sweet chin music Triple H, costing him the matchup and giving the win to Sting. What in the actual hell is going on? Shawn Michaels, they have pretty good chemistry together, and it lifted the match. That is good to know. Triple H benefited from crowd support. I'm reading stuff. I'm getting sidetracked. What the hell just happened? Shawn Michaels, a WWF guy, gave the win to a WCW guy, Sting. Sting is now the World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Champion. What is going on as Triple H lays in the middle of the ring as Sting gets up? Shawn Michaels goes and gets the coveted WWF World Wrestling Federation World Heavyweight Championship. I don't know why I'm saying it like that. And hands it to Sting. He hands the championship to Sting, shakes Sting's hand as both men celebrate over a lifeless Triple H. I cannot believe what I'm witnessing. Why, Shawn? Why have you turned your back on the World Wrestling Federation and teamed yourself up with Sting of all people? What is going through your head? Is the hatred for Triple H that much that you're willing to sell out the World Wrestling Federation? We are going to have to find out at a later date because we got to finish the show. I knew it was going to get a 100 with these matches, man. This is a banger-ass pay-per-view to end the year. One freaking Hondo. Let's go, man. What an awesome match. Undertaker and Doolove still it away from Eddie Guerrero and Rob Van Dam. They still it away. We are going to make some speeches. We are going to give we're going to give it to I'm going to have to give it to Rob Van Dam and Eddie Guerrero for sure. Man, they did awesome stuff. Compliment on a great performance, man. That was I have to give it to y'all, man. That I was not I knew they were going to have a good match, but I didn't know it was going to be that good. And I wish I could pick more people, and I would love to. I'm going to praise The Undertaker on a good performance. Let's see here. How many times have I praised people? Eddie Guerrero, I praised. Steve Austin, Bret Hart, Mankind. The Undertaker, I praised before. The Rock. You know what? We're going to give it to... we're going to give it to Jericho and Rey Mysterio because they also had a good match. And we're going to compliment them. We're going to compliment everybody. Seem pleased, and seem pleased. They did awesome matches, man. Good job from them. That's all I'm going to say about that, man. What a freaking pay-per-view. Another 100 in the books. Wowee. I'm super happy. Undertaker coming up with a catchphrase. It's gonna sell a hell of a lot of t-shirts. I imagine so. What a pay-per-view to end the year of November. It is Monday, week 4, November 1997. I gotta book some Monday Night Raw. Thank y'all for watching Survivor Series, guys. Thank y'all for being a part of this awesome, amazing pay-per-view. Thank y'all. More than anything, I am happy to have y'all. What is going on with Shawn Michaels? Why did he turn his back on the World Wrestling Federation? We are going to have to find out tonight on Monday Night Raw. That will be the next episode, guys. My name is Dylan Villain. If you are new to the channel and like what you see, the subscribe icon will be over the Survivor Series logo. If you like this episode and want to go back and watch previous episodes, that playlist will be over last night results. And we are going to link the last episode of Monday Night Raw here in this corner. Or we're going to link Sunday Night Heat right here in this. Yeah, we're going to link Sunday Night Heat right here. So y'all can go back and watch Sunday Night Heat and everything like that. My name is Dylan the Villain. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for leaving a like. Thank y'all for leaving a comment down below. And like we always say here at Pro Am Gaming, if you can't play with each other, do what I'm doing right now and play with yourself. We'll see y'all on Monday Night Raw.